I don't know what Sheilah means or what Karo means. Like I said, when I got the Gashumba name, I was named after my dad. So Gashumba is my dad's name. Like I say to you guys, we're doing a get to know me tag. I've never done this before, and I think it's something good that people should get to know me better on a different level. So the first question someone sent, what is your full name? So my full name is Sheilah Karo Gashumba. Sheilah with an H. I have issues with people spelling my name without an H. The reason why it has an H is because my birth certificate actually has my name as Sheilah Hart. So when you break that up, it's Sheilah with an H. And then when I was growing up till a certain stage, my real name was Sheilah Karo Gashumba. So when I started doing TV, when I was on WBS, I had to cut the name short and get my dad's name to call it Gashumba because it was too long. Gashumba is 13 letters. So imagine you're on TV and they say, hey, my name is Sheilah Karo Gashumba. It was going to be too long. So I used the Gashumba name, I think, from the age of like 10 years. But initially, it wasn't my name. Yeah. So someone said, what does your name mean? So I don't know what Sheilah means or what Karo means. But what I know is that Gashumba means mother of milk. Someone said that to me. It's a name that is originally from Rwanda and it was given to me by my granddad. Someone just asked me, are you named after anyone? Yes, like I said, when I got the Gashumba name, I was named after my dad. So Gashumba is my dad's name. If you had to change your first name, what would you change it to? I would never change my first name. I mean, Sheilah, many people say Sheilah, anyone who is called Sheilah is crazy, is fun. So I'm already a Sheilah. So I would never change my name. Someone said, where are you from? So I'm originally from, my origin is from Rwanda. I'm Tutsi. But I've grown up and I've been raised and studied in Uganda. So that makes me, everyone loves to call themselves Rwandese in Uganda. So I'll just say I'm Ugandan. Where was I born? I was born in Zambia Hospital. Everyone is born in Mulago in Uganda. So for me, I was actually born in Zambia Hospital. Where did I grow up? I grew up in Kampala. My dad is he's not a city born, hold up. But he's a hustler, so he came into town with my mom when I was when my mom was pregnant, and I was literally raised in Kampala. Who did you look up to growing up? I looked up to my dad. First of all, my dad literally raised me since the age of 5 years or 6. And I also love the fact that my dad and mom didn't have any fights on who should raise me. My mom acknowledged the fact that she was too young to raise me, so she went back to high school. I think she gave birth to me when she was in senior 4. So she went back to school, and my dad put me into Taiba International School for me to have full education. And I wasn't in day school, and the school was like a home away from school. Yeah, a home
really,
away
nigga?
from home. So I was in boarding already by like 6 years. So yeah, I looked up to my dad because I was raised by my dad. So every day he's the first person I see, he's the last person I see. And I think everyone says I work like a man, so maybe that's the reason. What are your best characteristics? So my best characteristics are, maybe I'm too smart. It can be bad or it can be good. I love to work. Every time I see an idea, I already switch it up to being monetized. And I think that's the best characteristic about me. And also I adapt to any situation. So if today there's a lot of money, I think I'm lying about that, but yeah. Let's go to the next thing. What's your favorite things about yourself? I don't know where I got the whole stylish thing from. Sometimes like I dress up and I'm like, okay, how did I come up with this? So I love that about myself. I also love that I just don't care what people say.
Really, nigga?
It's not something that I learned, but it's just who I am. My whole life is all around me. Which of your parents are you closest to? That's a pretty hard one, guys. So listen, when I was growing up, I was literally a daddy's girl. You understand? But if you're a girl and you turn like 18, you need to be very close to your mom, because there's some things you have to tell your mom that you can't tell your dad. You guys already know who my dad is. You can't just be saying, oh, I have a boyfriend that will kill you in the next minute. Later on, I had to be closer to my mom. But, I mean, I'm a daddy's girl. I always will be. And, yeah. Guys, I need a break.
Are you stupid or something?
The next question was, which of your parents are you more like? I feel like I'm a bit of both of them. So I got my whole business mind from my dad. My dad is like, literally, he's like if I'm to look up to anyone when it comes to business, it's my dad. Like, I'm more aggressive when it comes to work. My mind is always thinking. So that's more of my dad. And people say I look like my dad more. Until they see my mom, then they say I look like my mom. And then my whole life of being a bit calm is from my mom. And I know how to handle situations differently. My dad is, okay, maybe he's calm, but he's not as calm as me and my mom. So I'm a bit more like both of them, but I think I'm a bit more of my dad. I mean, I'm a Gashumba, so yeah. Are your grandparents still married? My grandparents were still married. My granddad passed on last year, RIP.
Martinelli's is a light, semi-dry, sparkling wine. Thanks to its association with royalty and ceremonies, Martinelli's is a traditional wine for celebrating of any kind. And don't forget to make a toast.
And he's the one who named me, so it was very personal to me. I literally watched him battle to cancer, and I had to make daily trips to Zambia hospital until he passed away. So my parents were still married until the day he died. My grandmom is still alive and kicking. That's on my dad's side. And now on my mom's side, both my grandparents are still married and they're still together. Matter of fact, my granddad recently celebrated his 90th birthday, so yeah. I think good genes run into the family. Everyone's still alive. I actually don't bury a lot in my family, so thank God. What relatives was more important to you growing up and why? If I'm to be honest, I'm not a family person. I'm not really close to my uncles and my aunties. One reason why I decided to do YouTube content in a different way is because I'm going to come here to be as honest as I could or as I can. So I'm not really close to my relatives. I'm not close to my aunties. I'm not close to my uncles on either side. And I'm also not I'm not as close to my cousins as I should be. The reason why is because growing up, like I said, I'm an only child to my dad. So when I was growing up, I didn't have so many relatives around my house until there was a certain period when they were around. But most of the times it was just me, my dad, the house help, and the dogs. So that's what I know. I'm a person who keeps things to myself, and I really don't let out so much of myself. So that way, to be honest, I don't even have any of, like, I have like 3 aunties' numbers in my phone and like 2 uncles, the rest, and my family is big. Like both on my dad's family has like over like 30 kids, you know. My mom's has like 8 maybe, but I'm not close to them. So I don't know if that's a bad thing or it's a good thing, but I was raised alone and I know how to handle situations alone. What is one thing that you've never revealed to your parents? What do you mean? I don't know. Let me think. I've never revealed to my parents. Okay, my dad didn't know I was drinking alcohol until my last relationship. So, yeah. My mom, I think that's it. That's it, to be honest. That's such a deep question, hey? What would your parents have named you if you were the opposite gender? How am I supposed to know that? Never. I'd never know that. What's your best physical feature? I think I don't have. I love my tooth gap. I know how so many people come onto the internet like, you should close your tooth or whatever. I'm actually I have an appointment in Miami for my teeth, and I'm still contemplating if I should close my upper tooth gap or no. But because I love it, I feel like it's different. I also love my skin tone. It's amazing. Everyone tells me, Sheilah, you have amazing skin. What do you use? Blah, 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 blah. It's natural. I don't use anything. But yeah. What's my biggest fear? My biggest fear is failure, guys. I can't fail.
Really,
like
nigga?
in life, when I fail, I feel like I'm sick. Everything stops. The world stops. So that's my biggest failure. What has required the most strength of you in your life so far? I think my last relationship required me to have my biggest courage and to just think about myself, because I've never been in a situation where I had to literally think about me. I had to step out of my comfort zone. Imagine staying with someone for 3 years, and it required me to have courage. Your relationship is everywhere on the internet. If people hear you've broken up, that's drama. If you're still together, that's still drama. And you know how the media is when it comes to Sheilah Gashumba. So it required me to just be strong and move on. So that's when I required the most strength. Who is my favorite celebrity? Everyone knows I love Bonang Mateba. She's like everything to me. I love her. I would rather watch Bonang Mateba than watching Kim Kardashian's reality show. Like, I mean, she's the closest to me. She's in South Africa. I'm in Uganda. So I love her. I recently just found out she moved to New York, and apparently, I don't know if this is true, that she's going to be the presenter on the whole fashion show. So I'm here for Bonang. Who is my favorite musician? I love music. Those who know me know already that I'm an international PR for all the biggest African artists. And I still feel like I love African music, but my favorite artist of all time is the one and only Queen Rihanna. I mean, come on. I feel like I'm meaning her, but of course I'm so far from that. I always love my favorite people to be people I can easily not become like them, but I would easily be like them. I don't want to like someone that is so far from my dream, because I'm already in the entertainment industry. So yeah. What's my favorite childhood memory? My favorite childhood memory was my dad getting me everything I wanted. I always had the latest phones, the best holidays, the best schools. Shout out to my dad. Me and my dad are forever fighting, but he's a G. He's my G, so yeah.
Martinelli's is a light, semi-dry, sparkling wine. Thanks to its association with royalty and ceremonies, Martinelli's is a traditional wine for celebrating of any kind. And don't forget to make a toast.
What's my favorite drink? So I'm already drinking Martinelli's. I love to drink. Okay, I'm not a drunkard. Most people think I drink a lot, but I know how to control my alcohol. I love Martinelli's. It's my favorite drink. And I feel like it's okay for you to drink. I mean, if you know how to control it, and it's okay for you not to drink. So Martinelli's is currently my favorite drink. What is my favorite food? I love seafood, but I think I love goat's meat, luombo. Like, I mean, if it's Ugandan food, it has to be the goat's meat, luombo. Many people don't eat intestines, but I feel like, come on, it's the best food, so why not? Seafood, I feel like I like food that some people mostly don't eat. Most people don't eat seafood. They can't stand sushi, they can't stand prawns, they can't stand fresh salmon. I'll eat that. I like to eat things that people can't eat, but I would definitely not eat octopus. In seafood, I can't. I mean, they have you know how an octopus is, the whole, never. What's my favorite music genre? I love Afrobeats, and I'm definitely loving Amapiano. Guys, if you want to party and have the time of your lives, Amapiano music is literally the best music. I had some questions as well that I'm going to ask. Wait, hold on. Okay, someone just asked me, who is your ideal man? So my ideal man is a man who minds his business, not my business. Number one. Number two, a guy who is very confident of himself and not insecure. Like, I love a man who knows, okay, yes, Sheilah, I'm dating you. But yeah, I know guys like you, but I love you and you like me. That's it. I shouldn't be there every day telling you, oh my God, I love you. Come on, I have other things to do. So my ideal man is that type of man. I also love a man who has his things going on. I have my own things going on. I'm not about to babysit a man. Like, I don't want to say I've been there before, but I'm not about to babysit someone. So that's my ideal man. A man who has his life together. I have my life. So when we're together, we're together. Not a man who thinks my life is his life or his life is mine. No. Wait.
Okay, guys, we close, eh? Okay. Sean. So shit.
I was asked, how was your teenage life? Guys, listen. If I'm to tell you about my teenage life, I was wild. I was crazy. I was just the opposite of my dad. So when I was in high school, when I was in Taiba, I never wore uniform. Like if I helped you to wear a uniform, I'd wear the shirt. I wouldn't wear the trousers or the skirt.
Really,
my
nigga?
uniform, my skirt was the shortest skirt in school. Not because of anything, but I mean, if you've been to Taiba, you would relate. And then also, I had the most punishments. At least every day I would have a punishment. Either washing saucepans. I remember when I was in St. Mary's, Namagunga. Most people don't know. Yes, I passed my PLE. I was so good. My dad's dream was for me to go to Namagunga. Until they had to tell me that I have to sleep by 9. If I'm to sleep by 9, we can't talk. How do you tell me that I'm not supposed to talk because the lights are off?
Are you
So I'd
stupid or
always be
something?
found speaking after the lights out because you're not supposed to speak after lights out. So what would happen? The ministers, when I say the ministers, I mean prefects, would always tell me to stand in the lawn or in the compound until they come back for me. So sometimes they would forget me there and I would stand freezing cold. They would tell
Really,
me to
nigga?
sweep from the dining to the other side and I would always pay someone, help me sweep. Even in Taiba, I would always pay someone, please wash my dishes. I would be on the phone. I was wild. There's a time my dad told the school, please, when I bring her to school, she's under your arms. I don't want you to call me when I'm in between my work for you to tell me that Sheilah has a problem at school because she's in school. I remember there's a time I went back home and my dad told me, when you feel like you're ready to be a student, I'll take you back. Trust me, I sat home for 2 months until I knocked on his door. I said, okay, now I'm ready to be a student. I also remember I had a couple of fights in school. Yes, no jokes. So I had like 2 fights in school. One was in Taiba, one was in Kamboja International. So the first fight I had in school was because I left my camera at school and I found this girl had gone into my suitcase, used my camera and broken it because my dad is more of a gadget person. He always wanted me to be very hands-on on my phone, on my cameras, on my laptop. So I had the latest everything. So she used my camera and she broke it. When I confronted her about it, she's like, but your dad has money. Why would you care about that? Fix it. Okay, yes, he would fix it, but before he fixes it, you know how African parents are. My dad doesn't joke on things like that. You either get like some canes or something, or so we got into a nasty fight, and because she instigated the fight, she got suspended from the school, and I stayed in school, but I had like a little mark. So yeah. Then the second time I fought was in Cambodia. I came from school. I used to sell, like I said to you, I'm very business minded. So when I was in school in Cambodia, I was selling like earrings, necklaces, because my dad wasn't a fan of giving me a lot of money for pocket money. And you know, when you're in international school, the canteen has like crazy prices. So my dad, imagine, would give me like 20K a whole week. Everyone has like 50K a day. So I had to sell things for me to get money. So I said to the girl, you know, you have to pay me my money. It's been 2 weeks now. She's like, yeah, but your dad is doing, I think that, because I think my dad was in jail like a week before. So she was like, but your dad was in jail for fraud. I was like, yo, come on, listen, I was fighting with a Sudanese person. No jokes. If you know, you know. Next minute, the school calls my dad. Imagine you're in their school, you've just left home. Ooh. Sorry. Should be as natural. So anyways, I was saying that, so imagine you're in this school, your dad, you say bye to your dad, and then in 2 hours, they're calling your dad like, your daughter just got suspended. So now I got suspended this time. She got suspended for 2 weeks. I got suspended for 1 week. When they called my dad was like, yeah, but the girl provoked her. So if my daughter's fault, that's why I took her to martial arts, because when I was younger, my dad took me to karate lessons and fighting. So he was a proud dad. He was like, it's okay. You fought for what is right. Someone can't just come and tell you what you should do. I mean, you're demanding her money. So I went home to luxury. I went to the cinema. And yeah. as Sheilah Gashumba should be. Someone asked me, where did you get your belly piercing and when? This is a very funny story. So I got my belly piercing when I was 17 years. And because I felt like I was skinny or small and I felt like it was good for me. So someone asked me where. That is a very good question. Number one, that time when I got my belly piercing done, my dad used to always drop me and pick me up from everywhere. So I had to get my belly piercing done at work. So I called up this guy, he's called Isaac Santu. I went to school with him in Taiba. And when he came to do my belly piercing, because I couldn't move around, that time there was no Uber in Uganda, there was no Safe Border, there was no Taxify.
Really, nigga?
So when he came, there was a show being filmed. There was a show being filmed in the studio in NTV. So you know that hall, the hall at Serena where people usually do weddings and concerts? Guess what? That's where I got my belly piercing done.
Martinelli's is a light, semi-dry, sparkling wine. Thanks to its association with royalty and ceremonies, Martinelli's is a traditional wine for celebrating of any kind. And don't forget to make a toast.
So there was an empty table. I had to lie flat there, and he just did the belly piercing. And yeah, very unprofessional, but it had to get done because my dad was not supposed to get to know about that. I don't know if he knows I have a belly piercing. I'll be dead if he finds out. Has anyone sent him my pictures when I have a bikini on? I don't know. Anyway, someone is asking me, how did I meet my boyfriend? Okay, so how I met my boyfriend, Rickman Manrick. So weird. Like years ago, he had just done a song called Nachi Nachi. So I was friends with one of his friends called Champagne Papi, aka Regan. So Regan said to me, hi Sheilah, there's this friend of mine, he's an artist from Sweden. He has a song he wants to premiere. At that time, I was doing a show on NTV and it was a daily music show. So usually we used to premiere songs. So I was like, okay, cool, send me the song, let me hear. The song was like top notch, nice. I mean, it was a big song in Uganda at that time. So what happened is he had to text me, we had to Skype him.
Really, nigga?
So that's when we is that meeting someone?
Are you stupid or something?
Yeah, so we Skyped him when he came to Uganda that period. He was invited onto the show and he was so sweet. Imagine when he came that time, he's like, thank you for Skyping my show. And the show was so big. I bought you a gift. And he bought me something. What did he buy me? That was years ago. It's like 8 years ago.
Really, nigga?
And then there's a time I think he was leaving and he said he wanted to say bye. And I was swimming at Serena. So I said to him, I'm swimming at Serena with my ex-best friend by that time. So guess what? This guy goes to Serena Chigo when I'm in Kampala. Like Serena, Kampala. So then he had to drive all the way from Chigo to Kampala. So we just chilled. Then we went out for a few drinks. So that was the official meeting, but that doesn't mean that was the official dating. So then we just kept in touch as friends. But he had always had the biggest crush on me. So yeah, that's how we met. I'm going to answer the last question. Literally the last question. For how long will you be in SA? So you once in
Really,
Cape Town.
nigga?
Okay, someone just asked me how did I quickly move on from my old relationship to my current relationship. Okay, so many people think that this was easy. Guys, come on. I'm not, what's that girl? The girl dating Jordan. I forgot Michael. No, the guy dating Michael B. Jordan. I'm not Lori Harvey, okay? This was so much. We were already not together. I had already moved back to my dad's house by last year, August. And I was a daddy's girl, not someone's girlfriend. And then also, when I went to Zanzibar, people were asking me, Sheilah, but you guys just came back from a trip. Guys, a trip is a trip. If someone is to go to a trip, they'll go with anyone. I mean, if I'm currently in love with my videographer, I would go with him to a trip.
Really, nigga?
You understand? It's just a trip. As long as I book the room and I don't want to be alone in the room, I can go with my ex-boyfriend, my current boyfriend, my future boyfriend. It's just a trip. Why are people so obsessed with, you on a Zanzibar trip? I mean, am I supposed to take a dog to Zanzibar? Am I supposed to be alone in Zanzibar? Do you guys know what Zanzibar is? You have to go with a man with great sex.
Got it!
Period.
Really, nigga?
That's it. What is my favorite color? I love red, guys, because red is just power. And I also love pink. I've never figured out my own favorite color, so yeah. But anyways, I've been sipping on Martinelli's. You already know that there's an amazing new collection of Martinelli's. There's a rosé. I love the rosé. It makes me feel like I'm in a different zone. Anyways, guys, this is the end of the Get to Know Me tag part 1.
Martinelli's is a light, semi-dry, sparkling wine. Thanks to its association with royalty and ceremonies, Martinelli's is a traditional wine for celebrating of any kind. And don't forget to make a toast.
If you guys want to continue with all these questions, drop them on my Twitter handle, at Sheilah Gashumba, and of course on Instagram. I've been sipping on my favorite Martinelli's. If you know you're a guy and you want to get a girl in a good mood, you don't even need $1 million, man. You need Martinelli's. I mean, I've answered all the questions I've never answered. You never hear them anywhere. And yeah, shout out to everyone. Shout out to my makeup artist, Imani. Shout out to Mbajishon. Shout out to my videographer, Josh. And of course, Tado on the films. Make sure that you catch different episodes of these different videos on YouTube, guys. I'm back on YouTube, bigger, better. Every week you're gonna be having new hot content.
Got it.
Martinelli's is a light, semi-dry, sparkling wine. Thanks to its association with royalty and ceremonies, Martinelli's is a traditional wine for celebrating of any kind. And don't forget to make a toast.